Hey. So most of my makeup's already done because I was recording a video for Mr. Longfellow Deeds, but it cut off on me. So now I have to do it live because I don't have enough space. So I'm making another video while I do my makeup. I've got to go grocery shopping, but I had a special request from Mr. Robert Longfellow Deeds. He wanted another murder story. So while I finish doing my makeup before I go grocery shopping, I'm going to tell you guys about Tammy Engel. So Tammy Engel had been married before and divorced and has a teenage daughter. And she met this man named Alan Duvall, who also was an older man and had been married before and divorced. They met each other, really hit it off, really liked each other, and pretty much had a whirlwind romance. Within 3 weeks of meeting each other, Alan proposed to Tammy and asked her to marry him. And she said yes within 3 weeks. And within 12 weeks, they were married. So they get married, and Tammy is a spendaholic. She loves spending money. Alan is not quite a spendaholic. He is more frugal, likes to save his money, but he is a big-time drinker. He's one of those people who kind of wakes up with a beer in his hand and falls asleep with a beer in his hand. Just drinks all day long, sipping on some beers. Family members say they've never seen the man without a beer in his hand. So anyways, they get married, and after they get married, Tammy's like, let's go to Hawaii for our honeymoon. And Alan's like, no, we can't afford this. She's like, oh, come on, baby, please, it's all I really want. Alan is head over heels in love with this woman, so he caves and says, okay, fine, let's go. Tammy's like, don't worry about it. I'll take out a line of credit. I'll pay for the whole thing. It'll be fine. So they go. They have a great time. They come home. And Tammy's like, let's buy a new house together so we can start our lives together. And Alan's like, I really can't afford this. Do we really need a new house? She's like, oh, please, honey. He's like, fine. He loves her. He'll do whatever she wants. So they buy the new house, and money's tight, needless to say. Tammy's still doing her regular thing. She's going on shopping sprees every day. And Alan's like, listen, we can't afford this. She flips. She's like, actually, maybe you can't afford this because here's the bill from Hawaii. Here's your portion that you owe. Alan's like, what? I told you I couldn't afford this. She's like, well, here's what you owe me. So that happens. Alan, of course, he's like, okay, fine, honey. I'll pay for it. Whatever makes you happy. He wants, to keep this woman happy. He loves her. The whole shebang. So they buy this house, and not only is Tammy and Alan living in the house, but her daughter, Tammy's daughter, is living there as well, teenager, and she's going to be going off to college here soon. So she's not a big fan of Alan, the daughter, but they're all living together. Tammy's working at the nursing home, and one of her clients, an older gentleman that she's caring for, his son is an insurance agent named Harry Smith. Well, Tammy starts talking to him, and Tammy gets a thing for Harry Smith. So they start, bow, chicka, bow, bow, a little brown cow. That's what happens. So they're doing this, and Alan finds out. Alan is pissed. I mean, real pissed. So he comes home. He's had a few drinks. He comes home. He's waiting for Tammy to get home because he's going to confront her about this Harry Smith shenanigans going down. And the daughter's there, and she's supposed to be studying for a test or whatever. She's got the music playing and stuff, and Alan, of course, has had a few drinks, and he gets mad. He goes to the daughter and is like, you're never going to amount to anything. You can't study like this. Turns her radio off. The girl starts freaking out and stuff. The cops get called. So the cops show up, and this girl's like, he hit me, blah, blah, blah. The cops are like, let me see the marks. There's no friggin' marks. So Alan's like, I didn't put my hands on her. They could smell booze coming off of him, though. So what they decided to do was not arrest anyone, but they asked Alan if he had somewhere to stay. And he was like, what? Me leave? They're like, just for tonight. Since you've been drinking, do you have somewhere you can stay for tonight? Come back tomorrow. Alan's like, fine. So he leaves, sleeps it off, comes back in the morning, goes to open the front door. It's friggin' locked. So he's like, what is going on here? So he tries to put his key in the door. Doesn't work. Oh, because while Alan was sleeping off his little booze banger, Tammy changed all the locks on the house. So Alan cannot get in the home. So now she's cheating on him, spending all the money, changed the locks. and screaming and yelling at him about drinking, even though she's a spendaholic and she drinks too, just not all day, every day. So needless to say, they get separated. Well, Tammy decides that she wants her cake and eat it too. She knows that Alan is a fool for her. He will do anything that she says. So she's like, let's see if we can work on things. Maybe if you take me out to dinner once a week and pay for it, we can talk and see if maybe we could work this out. So Alan, being the nice guy that he is like, oh, yes, baby, let's do that. So once a week, Alan takes her out to a fancy dinner, pays for it, gets bottles of wine, $18 chocolate souffles, the whole shebang. And at the end of it, Tammy's like, thanks so much, honey. See you next week. Bye. And goes home. And then probably bound chicka wow wow with the insurance agent. Anyway, so this goes on. And one time she calls him and is like, Alan, do you think this week you come by and have dinner at the house? I need some help around the house or whatever. Alan's like, yeah, baby, I'll be there. So he comes by for dinner, and she's making everything, and she sets him up out back on the porch, and she's like, I'll bring it out to you. So she's bringing it. She has Long Island iced teas and beer, and, she was complaining about his drinking, but she had plenty of booze flowing this night. Fresh fruit cut up and veggies and a homemade pudding and stuff. So Alan's eating it, starts getting a little bit, sleepy and stuff. She's got to go to bed for work. She's like, Alan, night's over, pack it up, you got to go. Alan's like, oh, I'm all right, just go inside, I'll be fine. She's like, no, Alan, you got to go. And he's like, no, I'm leaving in a few minutes. So she goes upstairs and goes to bed. She wakes up in the morning, looks out the window. Who's still sleeping out back? Alan. So she's got to go to work. So she goes downstairs and she talks to him and she's like, Alan, what are you doing? You slept here all night. And he's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm leaving in a few. Can barely speak, whatever. So she's like, when I get home, you better be gone. And she goes to work. Comes home from work. Walks around back. There's Alan. Only except this time, Alan's not sleeping. Alan is croaked. I mean, dead as a doornail, this man is. So Tammy calls 911. She's like, 911, I just came home and my husband is dead. And they're like, what? She's like, well, we're actually separated and he was sleeping, but now I think he's dead. So the cops come and stuff. And, they look and the cop's like, man, it looks like, just a regular death, He's just an old guy that died and from all the drinking and stuff, that's the case. Wrap it up, call it a day. So they leave and take the body and stuff, and Tammy's like, all right, let's go ahead and get him cremated. And family members are like, hold on a second. They start calling the police station. They're like, no. My brother Alan can drink anyone under the table. They're like, there is not enough booze in this state that could kill my brother. They're like, that's not what happened. Something's not right. Plus, the fact that Tammy, within 24 hours, was trying to get him cremated. They were like, no, that's not what he wants. He was a military man. He wants a military service. That's what he's always wanted. And Tammy's like, no, I'm his wife. He wants cremated. I want it done now. So the family's freaking out, and they get the police to put a stay on it. So they do not cremate him so that they can continue investigating. So they're doing the investigating, and because of the family freaking out and stuff, they decided to do a full autopsy and a talk screen and everything. So they did that, and the results come back that Alan died of a drug overdose. So the police are like, Tammy, something's not right here. You said that Alan is a drinker, but you forgot to mention any drugs. She's like, huh? What do you mean? I don't know that he does any drugs. But they're like, let me tell you what he died of. Alan had 80 times the therapeutic level of muscle relaxers in his system. So 80 times the level of that, of muscle relaxers. He also had 100 times the therapeutic level of liquid morphine in his system. And his alcohol levels were through the friggin' roof, which no one was surprised by. But he died of a drug overdose. Tammy's like, what? How could that have happened? I am a nursing assistant and all, but I don't know what happened here. So the cop's like, no, Tammy, you do know. Tell us what happened. She plays, I don't know. Cops start digging around. Come to find out, Alan's cousin had 200 Flexerals come up missing like a month before. Anyone who doesn't know, Flexerals are a muscle relaxer that was in Alan's system. Also, the last day that Tammy worked at the nursing home, before she left, a bottle of liquid morphine went missing. Who knows, right? So, the cops like, yo, Tammy, here's what's going down. Let's see what else has happened. Oh, you're having an affair? Who's this Harry Smith guy? Ha ha, the insurance salesman. You guys wondered why I mentioned him earlier, huh? He has a role. Well, he had sold her an insurance policy for $100,000 on Alan. So when Alan died, if he would have been cremated, none of this would have been known, it would have just been natural causes that this man died, and she would have gotten that insurance money. But because of family members, that is not what happened. She got busted, she went to jail, and that's the end of the story. That's all I got for you guys. She said it was suicide, it wasn't. Let's see, what else can I tell you guys about? Longfellow Deeds, I don't know if you're watching, but I hope you loved the murder story. So I'll tell you guys about, listen, I got one more right here I can tell you guys. I just don't remember how to say her name. When I finish my makeup, I will tell you. Dun dun dun, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Oh, here's some red. Oh my goodness. I guess I wasn't very prepared, huh? Well, this is the third video I had to do because I kept running out of time. Let's see. Oh, you guys want to hear about Sandy Murphy and, not them. I'm sorry, Steve Riggins and Nancy Riggins and their 14-year-old babysitter. So this guy, Steve Riggins, he's got a wife and a kid. Wife's name's Nancy. And they're both going back to work and stuff, so they need a babysitter. So there's this nice girl named Amy in the neighborhood who, she's like, hey, she could watch our kids. So Amy, 14 years old, comes over and starts watching these kids while these people are working. Steve Riggins comes home from work one day and is looking at her and is like, now if that ain't a felony waiting to happen, but he goes for it anyways. He's like, oh, Amy, you're so pretty. And she's like, no, I'm not. You can tell she's a very insecure, damaged little girl. And, typical sicko creep, they magnetize towards these type of people. But anyway, so he starts having an affair with this 14-year-old. Let's just get to the point, okay? He's screwing around with the 14-year-old. So, Mom friggin' finds out. Nancy finds out. One night, Steve comes home, and she's like, Steve, I know everything. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I know you're sleeping with Amy. I know that you're having an affair. I know that this started when she was only 14, because it was like years this went on. I think she was like going off to college when Nancy finally found out about it. And Steve's like, fine, Nancy, yes, you're right. You can't say anything to anyone. And Nancy's like, in your friggin' dreams, I'm not only going to tell the police, I'm going to tell everyone we know. Everyone's going to know what a sick man you are. Well, Steve didn't like that. Steve freaked out. Choked her out, killed her. Yeah, killed her. Dead, finito. So, he also, I believe, dismembered her and hid her body. Years down the road, he's still trying to screw around with Amy, even though now that she's in college and stuff and has a boyfriend, he gets all upset about it and tries to give her a ring. Turns out the ring is Nancy's ring, and Amy knows it, so she goes to the cops. The cops ask her to wear a wire. She does. Ends up going to meet up with Steve. Steve's all up on her. Needless to say, gets busted. For a 14-year-old, he killed his wife, the mother of his children, strangled her, and murdered her so that he could bang out the 14-year-old babysitter, who then went off to college and got her own boyfriend and stuff. So he not only demolished his own family, but probably destroyed some poor little girl who just wanted to babysit his kids and help out. I also have a couple other stories I want to tell you guys about, but I'm all done my makeup. So that's the end of these stories for today. Longfellow Deeds, this was specially for you. You asked for a murder story, so you got one. But I gotta go grocery shopping now. So this is the end of the day. But tomorrow or the next day, whenever I put makeup on again, I'll do another murder story for you, Longfellow Deeds. But that is all she wrote for today. So I hope that everyone has a tremendously terrific Tuesday. Give hugs, not drugs. Make love, not war. As you all know, we've all been told this since we were very small children. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It makes the world a nicer place. Anyways, I'm going grocery shopping. Have a good day. Peace, love, chicken wings.